Because of the way you're saying it. You're so confident in your belief. It's a belief without demonstration, which you're accusing me of, but you're on the same ground. That's my point.
Well, no, because I think if you think about kind of gravity as an argument, you can have you can demonstrate the effects of gravity by dropping a ball.
Yeah.
It's a different matter trying to prove gravity and understand gravity in its essence and its incomplete nature.
Yeah.
So why that's where I would say yes, I can't. No one really can. No one absolutely can.
Why do you think that is?
No one. Because, well.
Can I tell you why?
Yeah, go for it.
Because it's a metaphysical assumption. This problem is well known in philosophy, goes all the way back to David Hume, where he talked about a billiard ball and a pool set, and that you make the assumption when you see a correlation between one event and another, and you say that therefore event A actually caused event B. But you can never demonstrate it. It's a metaphysical assumption.
Which is where I was coming from the beginning, really.
Okay.
Which was the metaphysics of this. In fact, I started this discussion with this: that before creation, God was, before God made creation, God was able to consider all of the possibilities that could and would or wouldn't happen, including every thought that everyone had, every cup of tea or coffee everyone had. He could choose a reality where you had this cup of coffee and where you didn't. And that's in the omniscient knowledge of God before creation. Are we in agreement with that?
Yeah, God knows everything.
He knows everything. He can't not know everything.
Yeah, he knows all true propositions.
He can't not know.
What's that?
He can't not know everything. He absolutely knows everything.
Yeah, he knows all true propositions and doesn't know any false ones.
Okay, so he's got, in the knowledge of Allah, he knows, before he makes creation, he knows all of the possibilities of creation.
Yeah.
And then he chooses the creation that is actually made. And that is, of course, the will of Allah. So we're 100% agreement so far. And when he chooses, he can't choose like their variables. He chooses in the same way as the snooker table argument. He initiates reality knowing everything that will happen.
Well, yeah, he knows what's going to happen.
So like through time, after time, hell, heaven, all of those things. He knows what's going to happen, and he could have chosen a slightly different reality where slightly different things happen.
Could he?
Well, it's in his power because he's all powerful.
Yeah, but do you believe that?
If you've got an all-powerful, all-knowing being, then...
So you're granting that he could? He could have?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
So he could have chosen. So everything that is chosen, everything that's experienced in this world is the choice of Allah. It's all the will of Allah.
Yeah, in the sense that he willed it from the beginning, yes.
He willed every thought that we had.
Yeah, but those thoughts, okay, finish your argument, because I don't want to straw man you, so make your point. What's your point?
You don't have to be facetious about it. Yeah. You know, I'd hope you didn't want to straw man my argument. I think it's
I know, but you accused me of that, and I didn't straw man you. I think you misunderstood me.
Well, maybe I did. Probably did. So where in this choice where you had this in one universe where you just sipped coffee and another universe where Allah said, I'm going to have Jake not sip that coffee at that time, it's all absolutely determined by Allah. Now I know that, so explain to me, how can God, and we won't be talking about from a reference to authority of the Qur'an or the Hadith, yeah? But just on a philosophical basis, how can God, how can we have any free will when all is determined in that way?
I couldn't hear the last part.
How can we have any free will when we're all determined, when God has determined every little thing, every thought, everything that has come?
He hasn't.
He hasn't.
No,
so explain to
he hasn't determined the possibilities.
Explain to me.
God couldn't make it so that there's a possible world in which you have a married bachelor.
Okay, so
everything that's logically possible.
All possible
yeah,
worlds.
all logically possible
so
worlds. He doesn't have a choice of that.
Drinking tea.
What's that?
There was a choice where there's a possible world where you weren't.
Yeah, but if in each world I'm free, what's the problem?
So what I'm saying is that in that all-knowledgeable, all-powerful state, before he, in metaphorical terms, presses the button on reality,
yeah,
that instigates the creation.
Yes.
Now I know the Islamic position that God gives people free choice, free will. In a compatibilist way, there are certain things that have to happen. Yeah.
Go on.
Certain things that have to happen, like the events of the Qur'an.
Well, yeah. Once God chooses, once He pushes the button, as you said, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. So where's the free will?
Before that. Because the possibilities, you're saying that those possibilities, He's determining those possibilities. He doesn't determine those possibilities. Any possibilities.
Well, he like if you
you're assuming that once He presses the button, you're therefore back projecting it to the point before He pressed the button.
Yeah.
And you are saying, exactly, but what's your evidence?
No.
You're saying that the possibilities aren't genuinely ours. You're saying that He determined the possibilities and then determined which possibility He would select. That's your argument.
It's in his.
That's an assumption.
It's in his knowledge, all possible worlds.
But what are the possibilities based on?
All possible variables.
Does He choose them? Does He have the choice to say what's possible and what's not possible?
Absolutely.
How?
Because He's all powerful.
Okay, so He can choose that it's possible for a married bachelor to exist.
No, I said all possible worlds.
Okay, so exactly what determines what is possible and not?
God, the all-powerful God.
Okay, so could He determine that a world in which you have a married bachelor is possible?
I don't see where.
Because I'm trying to explain to you that God is not the one that's determining the possibilities.
Well, be explicit.
I just explained it to you.
No. You're saying that God can't make logical fallacies in His creation. Is that what you're saying?
He can't make something impossible possible. That means that He is not the one who is determining what is possible. The possibilities are there.
But that's kind of by the by.
No, it's not. That's the whole point.
No. If we agree, I don't quite understand. If we take out of the picture the impossibles, we're only looking at the possibles.
We're asking, how is that done? How does that happen?
But no, I wasn't asking that.
That is, because we're talking about possibility versus impossibility. And what you're doing is you're moving from possibility to necessity.
No. We're not talking about impossibility and possibility. We're just talking about all possible worlds. In the knowledge of God.
I'm trying to get down to what determines them to be possible. You're saying it's God. I'm saying it's not God. What's your evidence that God determines the possibilities?
Because we agreed that all possible possibilities are in the knowledge of Allah, whether they happened or they didn't.
But did He determine them?
Does God determine everything?
Does He determine those possibilities?
Does He determine everything?
I'm telling you, I just answered you. I told you no. How? How?
That's God. He's powerful,
How?
all powerful. He determines everything.
So He determines what's possible and what's impossible. That's what you're claiming.
No. You're moving from this possible, impossible.
Yeah.
I'm just narrowing it down for the sake of argument into all possibilities, not the impossibilities.
Yeah, but you're saying, okay, is there a limit to possibilities?
I couldn't answer that. I'd say no.
If it's unlimited, then how do you say that certain things are impossible?
I didn't say certain things.
Is it impossible for you to...
Okay. Is it impossible for a married bachelor to exist?
Well, these are logical rules, right?
Is it impossible for a married bachelor? Yeah.
I mean, basically, you could say that somebody is a bachelor and they've got an illegal marriage or a marriage that didn't in one state. You know, this. I don't think it's a good example.
No, it is a good example.
But what you're talking about,
okay, what does bachelor mean?
I just feel wait. I think you're obfuscating the point.
No, I'm not. I'm making a very specific point.
No. But I'm trying to arrive something. And what I don't understand is where we've gone on to
you said, okay,
thing.
We got down here.
I'm interested.
I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand how you determine what's possible and what's not.
What do you mean?
How do you know what's possible and what's impossible?
Because I'm talking about...
Because you said possibilities are unlimited. There's no limit to them. So then everything is possible.
There's different types of infinity.
I don't think we're getting anywhere, John.
No. You've got like an infinite possibility.
Nothing's impossible.
Excuse me. You've got an infinite number of possibilities.
So it's unlimited.
Wait. You've got an infinite number of possibilities. You've also got an infinite number of impossibilities. You've got two infinites.
Okay, are they limited?
What?
Those two infinities.
If they're infinite, are they limited?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Well, they're different kind of subsets, but I don't want to get into. I'm not qualified to talk about the natures of different infinities. But what I'm saying is these are
we're talking
issues.
about the nature of possibility and impossibility. That's what we're talking about.
No, I don't think that's what we're talking about.
That is what we're talking about. That's exactly what we're talking about, John. Because what you're saying is all those possibilities before God pressed the button. You're making the claim that He determined those possibilities. I'm trying to ask you questions.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. You did. You said that He determined it.
What, are you going to hate me now? I'm completely.
No. But you may miss what I said, so it doesn't mean.
I asked you if He determined them, and you said, "Yeah, He does. Doesn't He determine everything?"
Look,
that's exactly what you said.
Well, I believe that, but
why?
But wait. I'm saying that it's in all the possibilities are in His knowledge. That's
John. The reason why I'm asking you is because you just asked that, and then I responded by asking you why. My line of questioning is trying to get you to think about why you believe that, because your entire argument is based on the assumption that God determines all of the possibilities.
I went through an argument with you, and you agreed with the points that I made.
Come on, John. We're at the point where we're at the very crux of the issue, and you don't have an answer to it.
I genuinely don't understand.
I think you do.
Well,
I think you do understand.
I genuinely don't understand what you've moved this argument to. So I genuinely don't understand that. Because you were talking about that you.
The idea is this: you're saying that we're not free because any possibility, anything that could happen, God determines those possibilities. That's your argument. It rests. No, not only this reality, any other world that could have been, He also determined that. That's your claim. Your assumption. Yes, you did.
No, I didn't claim
I asked you that. Okay, so let's make this clear.
I said it's in His
Did God? No, I asked you if He determined it, and you said yes, He determines everything. So let's go back to this. Does God determine what's possible and what's not?
Answer the question. You can answer the question. You tell me.
What's your answer? No, because I'm trying to say your entire argument rests on the assumption that He has to determine them, but you can't prove it.
My argument. Let's really just come back to my argument. Is that you kept saying, well, what about the married bachelor? I'm talking about all possibilities are in the knowledge of Allah.
Yes.
And He chooses out of those this reality.
Did He choose the possibilities to begin with? The set of possibilities, did He determine them to be that way?
I don't know if I can answer that question. I don't understand.
Exactly, and I'm saying your entire argument rests on the assumption that He had to determine them. Because if He didn't determine them, then in those possibilities we are free, and then He chooses the world in which we're free. So your assumption is that He determined all of those possibilities. Otherwise, if you don't know, or He didn't, your entire argument goes by the wayside. You have to make the claim that God determines every possibility. You have to make that claim for your argument to stand.
Are you talking about in His knowledge or in reality?
We're talking about the point before He pressed the big red button, like you said. He knew those possibilities.
He knew, yeah.
Did He have a choice which one of those possibilities existed? That set of possibilities, that set of I told you already my answer. That set of possibilities, did God have a choice over those possibilities, what was possible and what wasn't?
He may, I would imagine that he established a set of logical rules to determine.
So do you think that God had a choice over the law of non-contradiction?
What I'm saying is that this is a little jump that I'm not sure.
It's entirely relevant.
I'm not talking about
John. Everybody else understands my point, so maybe it's just you don't understand me.
Well,
you too afraid to
that's
answer
what
it?
we're discussing.
No, I think if you don't understand me, I've explained it.
That I don't know.
I've explained it 3 different ways. I can't explain it any different for you.
I don't mean to talk.
I'm not trying to be rude, but
did he understand all the possibilities that he had, and he chose one? That's what he's asking you.
That's what I'm.
But did he choose? Did he choose those possibilities? You're saying you don't know, and I'm saying if you don't know, your entire argument assumes that he had to have determined those possibilities. Because if he didn't, then those possibilities are not his choice, which means they're our choice, and we're free.
That's a jump.
No.
Walk me through it. I'm interested in. Because you're asking me questions that I can't actually answer.
Okay, so then what are we supposed to do?
Well, but you have a belief about them, so you can explain them from your perspective.
I did. I just explained it to you.
So, but you explain it, but it's mixing it with questions around it. Yeah. So what?
Because I'm trying to get you to understand.
Yeah,
I'm asking you a question.
I would rather, instead of trying to get me to understand, why not just explain your position?
I did. I explained it to you. Just as you said, we have the possibilities.
Yeah.
Those possibilities, God doesn't determine those possibilities.
How do you mean he doesn't determine them?
Meaning he doesn't have the choice for a married bachelor to exist or not.
Oh, okay. So this is where we were changing. I was saying out of all actual possibilities.
But we're trying to determine what actually determines the actual possibilities. That's the whole point.
The ones that are not impossible.
Why are they impossible?
Because they're logical fallacies or whatever.
Okay, does God have a choice over logical fallacies?
I don't.
You don't know. You don't know.
So what you basically, we've got 2 subsets. And this is where I think that I'm getting confused with what you're saying. We've got 2 subsets: the impossible and the possible. I was discarding the impossible because that's.
But the question is, what is the nature of possibility and impossibility? That's the question.
No, that's the question you keep asking.
Okay, so then I can say this to you, John.
Yeah.
I'm both determined and yet free.
Some people would say compatibilism is the nature of Islam.
It's a contradiction. Can I accept it?
People do accept
Okay,
it.
so what's the difference?
Well,
in other words,
you keep jumping
you say, no, I'm trying to make a point. I'm trying to make a point.
Argument, right?
Of course. This is a philosophical discussion.
But you're moving away from the actual discussion.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm taking you to the very basics of the discussion, showing you that your entire argument is based on an assumption which you can't actually prove. And then when I bring you to that point, you say you don't know.
But because I'm saying that we're looking at all the possibilities and you keep comparing it to the impossibilities.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting anywhere, man.
Well, what can I say? You agreed with the steps that I'd taken, but then you were taking into these issues of non-logical kind of fundamentals, and that's fine too.
Yeah.
But it obfuscates the point.
Okay.
It obfuscates.
Do you want to make a final statement? Because I do have to talk to somebody else.
Fine. It obfuscates the point that out of all possible worlds, out of all possible thoughts that you have, choices that you make, God is choosing that when he presses that metaphor.
Yeah, he chooses
button,
it.
He chooses everything that happens to you, and that it isn't free will. He chooses that he knows what's going to happen, obviously, and he's chosen every. He chooses a set of results. It's like he's going to Manchester and he takes the M1 and the M4 or whatever. He chooses the route that we take, and that is bound by that route, and that is his choice. The issue about bringing the impossibilities in is, I think, moot by the by. He's choosing out of all possibilities, and there is no will other than Allah's will in that choice, and everything is ultimately the will of Allah.
And I'm saying, so this is my statement, that we go back to the point before he pushed the red button, so to speak, and you have a realm of possibilities. Those possibilities, God is not determining those possibilities. So within that range of possibilities, if there are possible worlds in which there are free creatures that exist, God can select one of those worlds, and this could be that world.
But even within that choice, within that free world, he still is going to know which reality.
Yeah, but now you're moving from now you're moving from determination to knowledge. Those are two different issues.
No, I understand. That's what we were more talking about: determination and knowledge.
Exactly, but now you're moving to knowledge.
All you've done is chosen this kind of notional world where people have free will.
Exactly. My point is you have to assume that that's impossible, that there is a world in which God can create free creatures. You have to assume that that's not possible.
Okay, that's a bit more to the point.
Exactly. You have to assume that that's not possible, and I'm saying it's based on an assumption. You don't have an argument to say that there's not a possible world in which free creatures exist besides God.
Right, so that will come back to my broader argument about this world, about the fact...
Exactly, that's why we started off here.
That is that actually there is no evidence of absolute free will, that we're all conditioned in our choices and our beliefs, and we can't demonstrate that immediate change in our beliefs. And so even in your possible argument, this free world, I don't think this is a free world. And not only do I not think that, the whole of the universal law is such based on that.
What do you mean universal law? Sorry.
The name of Hinduism.
Are you a Hindu?
No. The name of Hinduism.
What's your position? I'm just curious. You're an atheist?
I'm a non-dualist.
Are you an atheist?
I'm a non-dualist. I said my position.
Explain what that means.
It means that I believe there is only one. There is only God.
Okay, so you're a pantheist.
The unity of being.
You're a pantheist.
Well, that's another word, isn't it? But it's more accurate to say non-dualist.
Okay.
So if you've only got one entity, there is no absolute conflict in that.
Is there a real difference between you and me in reality?
Well, Ibn Arabi was, do you know...
Yeah, I know, but, okay, so this is the last question.
No, wait. So Ibn Arabi has got the same kind of belief as that.
I understand. I think he was wrong. So my question to you is, do you think that in reality there's a real difference between you and me, or is it just illusory?
I don't quite get that question. Is there a difference in what respect? Well,
are you different than me, or are we the same?
Are we all part of one?
You're saying, okay, we're all part of one, right? Yeah. That's what you believe. So in reality, are we identical?
So what I believe is that there is one substance that creates it's like a wave function, collapsing into a particle duality. So we've got this is a duality which is created by the oneness of being.
But you said you were non-dualist, I thought.
Can I just finish? So this is an illusory duality.
Exactly, yeah. So your position is this.
So what I'm saying is I identify as the truth of my being is that I'm not my body, I'm not my mind.
Yes.
I'm not my thoughts.
You're God.
Huh?
You're God.
I'm infinite awareness.
You're God.
The awareness that is the creator of things, and so are you.
Okay.
So are we the same in
essence? Reality, we are.
In essence, we're the same.
Okay, so the idea is this: you're a non-dualist. That in reality, everything is one, but our experience of duality is illusory.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So just what I said before, going back to the earlier thing about our experience of free will, not only is our experience of free will choices, but every experience that we have in reality is actually illusory, because we experience duality at every moment, and yet it's not real based on your position. So I'm just wondering, if that was your position all along, why didn't you say that? Because that's what your position boils down to, is everything is illusory.
That is.
It's like you had it in your back pocket, and then at the last moment you showed it to me.
No, I mean, when we talk about, I'm not trying to trick you. I'm not trying to.
I know,
fool
but
you.
I'm just saying.
I'm trying to have a conversation, and also look, we were coming together for having a discussion.
Yeah, that's fine.
That discussion can go different ways. What I don't understand about the issue about back pocket.
No, because what I'm saying is, earlier on, when I was bringing up the illusory nature of our free choices, right? And then I said about the experiences in general, I was asking you if all of our experiences in general are illusory, and you didn't want to say yes, but I'm saying in reality your position is yes. You could have said yes. So I'm saying if that's actually your position, I'm not saying you're dishonest. I'm just wondering why you didn't say it. You thought it was going to take us off track, or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
I mean, you could be, either of us could be talking about different aspects of our beliefs that takes us away from the arguments that we're talking about, determinism or not, right?
Okay, well, how about this?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be here, but if I ever come back, maybe we can talk about that another time, because I do really have to talk to somebody else.
No, I was happy to let you go. Talk about what another time? The unity of being?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Okay, good.
It's fine. It's just a matter of accuracy. Obviously, we've got witness here. I think what's interesting, I can look it back and think about, how wrong I was in my understanding about what was said.
But it felt to me like being independent. It felt like every time
you've got to go.
Yeah. Bro, do you know who's working these things?
I don't know.
I'm done here.
I don't know, man. That one's.
I'm done over here. Because I'm supposed to speak to somebody else, so. Yeah. Alaikum salam.
Nice to see you again.
How you doing, brother? All right?
Yeah, good to you.
Alhamdulillah.
Are you ready for?
You want to see if Bob will come
rumble?
over here? See if he'll come over here.
Take care. No problem. Yo, Jesse.
I'm not a debater or anything. I converted a little while ago. I'm kind of in a mixed space, but I'm reading about biocentrism, and I guess that's what you're kind of.
No. This is just private stuff.
Make sure your batteries are.
That's kind of the link you're making here. You're explaining what. The link between God and the quantum world and non-duality, wave function, consciousness being fundamental to creation as well.
Oh, yeah. So you can leave it on here. Okay, are you going to speak to Bob? Yeah.
What, the park? In general?
The country.
Oh, Tuesday. Yeah. Okay. Tuesday morning. You converted to Islam?
I did, yeah.
Oh, okay. Alhamdulillah. If you want, you can reach out to me. Yeah. Just check me out on YouTube.
Yeah.
Email me, or if you have Twitter or whatever, you can message me. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure I'll see a lot of your content.
Yeah, inshallah.
It seems like the science isn't, matching the mystical now, and we're looking through things.
Yeah.
Let's go find Bob.
No, let him come.
No, let him come over here. I mean, his guy was just here before. Bring him over here.
Gave that evidence right at the beginning. I don't know if you saw. So that's the difficulty in a sense of when your comments may not have the whole picture of what that line of argument is. Do you want to speak here? Is that
yeah, we're just waiting for somebody to come.
Oh, okay, yeah, no problem.
How are you doing, alright?
Yeah, good.
How's your week? Busy? Yeah?
Yeah.
Your postman.
Okay.
So is it finished now? Or?
I'm done with mine, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What are you doing tomorrow?
I have to go and get my vaccine, my COVID test.
Yeah, but not all day, right?
Yeah. Besides that, probably going to do a podcast with Hamza. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good. From from the office
Yeah,
or from your hotel?
yeah. Office.
No, that's good, bro.
Alaikum salam.
How are you?
Good, alhamdulillah.
You from where are you from in America?
New Jersey. So close to New York. Yeah.
Have you always been Muslim, or did you revert? Or?
No, I became Muslim about 10 years ago.
Oh, mashallah.
Alhamdulillah.
How old are you now?
30.
30?
Yeah, I turned 31 this coming week.
Okay. Oh, you're getting old like me then.
Yeah.
So did you what's your background? Is it philosophy?
Yeah, I have a degree in philosophy.
Did you do anything else after that?
No, I got a different job. I'm not in philosophy.
No?
Yeah, but I have my own YouTube channel.
Yeah. Well, that's what philosophy kind of is. It's like I've noticed when I see like some philosophers, they talk and talk and talk about these ideas. Because for me, like, so my background's in maths, so I keep trying to like abstract out.
Yeah.
Because I think there was one or two. None of these are recording, right? Do you have time?
I have no idea.
There was something I was interested to ask you about if you have time, but if you don't.
They are looking to like title their video, but they're asking like, what's the conversation about?
Who's that? With the video we just did?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like who determines free will? Or who determines the possibility? It was a long video, that's why.
No.
He was a pantheist.
Can humans choose what to believe or something like that? Yeah. Can we choose what to believe?
We had some pantheists and penantists. He was a pantheist, you know that.
Yeah, but he didn't tell me until the end.
I was going to tell you, but I thought you knew.
It came out of his back pocket. I'm like,
The ace.
yeah, because I was asking him before about something, and I was like, at the end, he tells me his position.
What did you think it was his position?
I think that
Well, I thought he was an atheist, just
the
like...
whole
Well, they are still atheists.
Yeah.
Pantheists are still
Can I
atheists.
talk to you? Because I actually want to clear something up about something. So I don't know, maybe it's something. Oh, you know when he was talking about all the possibilities, and then you were trying to push him and trying to say, well, okay, so before God pushed the button,
Yeah.
right? Then I guess you were trying to get him to do. So I'm not sure. But did God have all the possibilities in front of him, and he chose one?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's saying that God determined all the possibilities.
Yeah. What's the difference between determining then and knowing? And is there a subtlety there that I'm not aware of?
Yeah, it's not by his will.
So God doesn't have.
He doesn't choose what's possible and what's not. That's what I'm saying.
So he just acts, and then we derive.
No,
from,
he chooses from the possibilities.
which he.
The possibilities are based on him knowing the extent of his power.
But then would that suggest it's limited, or it's because his power is unlimited?
It's like if a person has a choice A and B,
Yeah.
so Allah doesn't make the choice for him. The person still has a free will to choose between A and B.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then Allah makes it happen in a way for him. Once he chooses A or B,
Yeah. Khalas is materialized.
yeah, then Allah wills it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because not a leaf, Allah says not a leaf falls.
Allah. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, I
exactly.
agree.
Not a
Yeah,
leaf
yeah.
falls without his knowledge and without his will.
But I was trying to understand before the button bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he must have, because it might be because I have some determinism in me, but I don't believe that we don't have free will. I don't believe that at all. But I look at it from a maths perspective. It's like when you've got a model, if you write down an equation, like a differential equation or something, I know this is going off on a tangent, but if you program it into a computer, give it some initial conditions, it will just go, and it will take a particular shape and a trajectory, and it will do lots of things.
Yeah.
Right? So I kind of see the universe in that kind of almost a clockwork.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the numbers, which are the base of any equation.
Yeah, like this.
Is there a choice over the numbers?
No, because truth has one.
Well, that's what I'm saying. God can't say, well, all of a sudden I don't want the number one to not exist.
Oh right, yeah, because he's committed to truth.
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay, right. I wanted to make sure I understood it.
Is it like kind of similar when someone says, "Can God kill himself?" Which
Or
is
can God lift a block too heavy for
No,
him?
that's different. That's the nature of Allah. We're talking about different thing now. So Allah doesn't go against His nature. So for
Yeah.
example, if say,
Which is what I think you
can
would
God
get
cease
into,
to
right?
exist? His nature is to exist. He can't go against His nature.
Yeah.
So
Or
can you
God
say,
make
can
a
God lie?
mistake?
No,
Yeah.
it's not His nature to lie.
I think that's why in the
Keep it simple,
conversation,
mate.
Josh or John, I don't know. He was saying like he is the Almighty. He can
Is
do
this guy
whatever he
coming or what, man? I've only got like another hour before I have to go and teach a class.
You're gonna come back like the last time.
I'm gonna come back, yeah, but I'm gonna be gone for an hour and a half. So I gotta go at 4:30.
Where's he going?
I don't know. I mean, his friend was over here before, that guy. I don't know his name.